Hello and welcome to In the Clear, the only show that is actively petitioning for a High School Musical 4. I guess it'd be more like College Musical. Yeah? Nope, on second thought, I do not like the sound of that at all. We here at In the Clear are now actively changing our petition status from for to against. I'm Tom Stark, as always, and we have a couple of cool things planned for you tonight. We have an interview with Lucas, better known as Lucid VRTEch, a website to help all of you movie and TV show junkies learn how much of your valuable time you're trading for screen time, and a few other bits of nonsense just sprinkled in for the fun of it. Remember to like and subscribe to stay in the loop for more of, well, this, and now let me take the wheel. That's Lucas. He, as most of our guests, has a unique hobby. He designs 3D printable VR gloves. Tell me that's not an exciting mouthful. Lucas sat down with me to talk about the gloves and how he started doing this. I tried to write exciting mouthful into this part a few more times, but Joe kept yelling at me to get my mind out of the gutter. So anyways, here's the interview. All right, everyone, I am here with Lucas. Lucas, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you for asking. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. Just wanted to ask you a few questions about what you do, and what you're gaining out of it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so to start off, how did you get into this whole thing with the printing and the finding everything out and making it work?
So originally the whole idea was I just needed something to do in quarantine. This was like halfway through the quarantine pandemic stuff, and I was sitting at home with not much to do at the time, mostly just studying for school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted something fun to do, and I'm also super interested in VR. VR was kind of my way of like escaping real life quarantine and like going somewhere else. And I was like, I want VR to be better, and I want it to be better for me. And I don't want to wait for gloves because there's lots of cool VR glove projects out there. But they're all taking a while just because it's a huge engineering challenge to be able to make a product like that, but then also ship it out to people at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I don't have a lot of money, so I couldn't make something crazy expensive myself either. So I wanted to make a cheap, easy glove that I could just build at home for myself. And I did, and I started posting videos mostly just as a way to show my friends and have a way to document the project. But people found it, and I was really, surprised by how many people were interested in the project.
Where did you initially start posting the videos, and like how long did it take you to notice you were gaining a following?
So I started posting videos on TikTok originally. So first, like my first video was just a clip of the finger caps, which are like little plastic pieces that go at the end of the fingers, with some badge reels attached for string. And that one got like 100 views. Which is pretty standard on TikTok. And then like my second video, it was the first prototype of the one finger, and that got like maybe 200 views. And then the third one was the entire hand with all of that, like strings and potentiometers and stuff. No wiring electronics yet. And that one got 100,000 views. And I stayed up until like 4 a.m. just reading all the comments. Like, wow, I'm surprised people actually like watching this,
Yeah. That's like, the word exponential doesn't even explain that. That curve is ridiculous.
Exactly.
So you have 3 completely working models now, and one that you're still, the 4th model you're getting to work now, right?
Yeah. So the first 3 models were all about hand tracking. I have one I can show off here.
Yeah.
I kind of stole some parts from it, so it's not totally all in one piece. But so this is all about hand tracking, prototype 1 through 3. So that is being able to track the position of your hand, either by using something like a Vive controller or just strapping an Oculus controller to your hand. And then it has finger tracking so that it can get the full position of your fingers, whether it's open or closed. As well as inputs like joysticks, so you can actually use it in real VR games. And that was the first three prototypes. And now the next prototypes involve haptics, so actually allowing you to feel the stuff that you touch. So
That's
this is
awesome.
prototype, yeah. So this is prototype 4, which is also kind of in pieces because I'm in the process of upgrading it. But it has these motors here that restrict the strings and actually make it feel like I'm holding something in the game.
That's awesome. So the part that I think is the most like interesting for me anyway when I'm, checking out your stuff, and the part that confuses me the most at the same time, when you're getting these to work in a game, there's no code in there for that, right? You're pulling this apart and making them work yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually probably like the hardware is hard, but like
The
the
software is
software to
probably
get it work
harder.
is
Yeah.
probably even harder. And luckily, we've had an awesome community that's been helping out with the software. So originally it was just me. And then another developer named Dan came along and he's been co-developing the driver with me. But basically all of the code that we write is through SteamVR's skeletal data system. So they have a way to actually track fingers already through Valve Index controllers. So the way our driver works is it just pretends to be Valve Index controllers that already have finger tracking, but with much more accurate
Ooh, okay.
and higher fidelity tracking. And the games just think, oh, these are just Valve Index controllers, but in reality, there's a lot more accuracy that you're getting out of that full glove than you are with just capacitive sensors. And then the haptics, that part's a lot more manual. So that one we actually have to go in and kind of hack the games a little bit to make them
Hmm.
work. So we're just kind of in the beginning stages of getting that to work in software. We have it working in our own like proprietary demo. But to get it working in other games, we're going to have to really work with our community and modders out there to actually help us getting it working in all the games.
What would you say is like your end goal with this? So you're working on haptics at the moment. Are you like working to make your own game that like runs on everything? Are you just trying to make this fully integratable system for people? What are you looking for?
So when the project started out, kind of like I mentioned, it wasn't like I didn't have huge plans for it. It was, something to do for fun. But after, I got a ton of feedback from people, lots of people interested in the project, I had to kind of make a decision as far as how I was going to get this project out to people. Because, at that point, I didn't want to just keep it for myself. So the decision was either try to find a way to sell the gloves as like an actual product, or just open source the entire project and let people build their own. And there are advantages and disadvantages to either one, but it's very hard for me as a student right now to sell any product at a reasonable time, especially
Yeah.
because I would still be racing with all the other companies that are selling gloves as just me. So I thought, why not just open source the project and let people build their own and get, as many gloves as I can out there. And then if some other option opens up later on, then I'll take it. So that's kind of been the plan right now. Prototype 3 is already publicly available. So anyone can build a pair of Prototype 3 Lucid VR gloves right now and get their hands on one. And Prototype 4 is hopefully, coming on the way pretty soon.
Nice. And I do have time for one more question. So, how about what has been your favorite application of the glove so far? Like, what have you had the most fun with when you got a pair to work?
Ooh, I would probably say my favorite application is there's this game called Blade and Sorcery. I don't know if
Hmm.
you played it, where you can use swords and weapons, and then also cast magic spells like fireballs. And I started trying it out right after I got the Bluetooth working on the glove. So now at this point, I'm not tethered to the glove. I don't have to worry about like ripping a wire out. So I could
Yeah.
really get pretty rough with the gloves. And just the experience of shooting a fireball out of my bare hands felt just amazing. Like
Yeah, I
I
bet.
just
Like,
did that with my hands.
that is actually really cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope more people get to experience that.
I know I'm going to give those a try, like, as soon as I get my 3D printer back up.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for stopping by and, letting everybody know what you do.
Of course. Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Help out other creators.
He was splendid. No, that's a bad adjective. Incredible? Yeah, that's awesome. Incredible. Really, just a nice person to work with. Please head over and check out his work and his progress. The new gloves with haptics are a great project and really amazing to follow. Welcome back to Please Google This, a segment dedicated to helping you find useful or fun websites for your everyday life. In the past, we've shown you sites to help you save money by finding out how long you can keep a lasagna in your fridge, to other sites that let you know what sound your car is making when you have an issue, so you don't get ripped off by your sleazy mechanic. Now, this week, we bring you a new site called Bingeclock. It's a personal favorite of mine, as I'm a screen gremlin. Also, some upsetting news for all you binge drinkers out there. This site will not help you pace yourself on your days off. It's not that kind of site. I'm sorry. It's a site for the TV and movie addicts out there who have so many things to watch that they just can't figure out a good way to schedule. The site has a lot of helpful tools, including letting you know how long it will take you to watch a show from start to finish, whether you're having a staycation with your cats and watching every episode of Boy Meets World in order again, helping you to create a watch list and a scene list, so you're not rewatching the same episode of The Simpsons for the 200th time. You know the one I'm talking about. Plus, it has a really great feature which lets you find out how long a show is without commercials and/or, I love and/ors, and/or the show's opening and closing credits. But let's be real. There are some opening and closing songs which absolutely slap. Dragon Ball Z, Malcolm in the Middle, and of course, That 70s Show. Again, I cannot recommend this site enough. Link is in the description below. Once again, we are wrapping up the show with two types of people. Keeping in with the summer vibe for when it comes to going for a swim. Are you an ocean person or a pool person? Yes, we know this is very biased to people who live on the coasts and have no access to an ocean. And we're not including rivers, lakes, brooks, quarries, or any other bodies of water. We're really just doing oceans or pools for the poll. So, that's our show. Please like, leave a comment, and let us know how we did. And feel free to subscribe. I'm Tom Stark. This was In the Clear. Have a great night. Tip your waitress, and we'll see you next time.